Hi there, my name is Denise. I'm a stylist for Color Street, and thanks for watching. It is Sunday, and I'm going to be doing makeup and a mani, but first makeup, and I'm going to be featuring my favorite purple, Devoted to Purple palette. It's by a brand called Juvias Place, and as you can see, it's the violets. And what I love about this palette is that it's all devoted to all purples. These two over here are matte. This one is like straight up glitter, and the rest of these other three are shimmers. And can anyone explain to me why this thing going on right in here always happens with glitter, with like shimmers? I don't understand. This one, not so much. This one is starting to develop it. But anyway, this is gorgeous, and I'm so excited. True purples. What do you know? Who'd have thunk it that you would name a palette purple and like actually have purple in it? So anyway, everything I'm using, these are the usual suspects. Everything I'm using is going to be in the description. It's going to rock a little brow. This is Wet n Wild Micro Brow in Brunette. And you know, really truly, why would anybody spend $30 on an eyebrow palette, or an eyebrow pencil? Really, I have to be a drugstore girl. I can't justify blowing money like that, you know. Especially when there's a woman that used to be, she had a brand called Makeup Geek. I'm not entirely sure why it no longer is a brand, but her name is Marlena Stell, S-T-E-L-L. And if you follow her, she's got the skinny on everything. I mean, she talks about what to spend your money on, what to save it on, how everything is made. And you know, most eyebrow pencils are all made in the same place. This pencil is the same one that you're spending 8 times more for. So, you know, just follow her, Marlena Stell. She's definitely she's probably forgotten more about makeup than any of us will ever know. And I really like her a lot. She's very cool. So she's one of my makeup ladies that I follow. I also follow a young lady named Taylor Wynne, W-Y-N-N-E is how she spells her last name. She just turned 30 or 31, and I've been following her for a really long time. The first time that I saw any of her videos, she used to have horrendous trouble with her skin. She had cystic acne and had to go on Accutane to fix that. And what I love about her is that her face is gorgeous. She's got this cute little heart-shaped face and these ginormously, ridiculously blue eyes. And, you know, her skin was a mess, but she was still out there doing the things, putting on the makeup and making the best of it. And I was inspired by her because of that, you know? I mean, most other people would just go, well, why bother? But she was still doing, you know, what she wanted to do and not letting the fact that her skin was in such terrible shape, you know, mess up her life. She was still just who she is. And she's got like 800,000 followers. And what really inspired me about Taylor, hang on, I want to cover this up. What really inspired me even more about her in the last several years, what in the world? You know, here they are. Covers to your eyebrow pencils. Don't walk away. Where did they go? What she did in the last couple years was she put a bunch of her stuff in storage and decided to live the nomad existence for a couple years. And she sold almost everything, and what she didn't sell, she put in storage with her mom and dad. And she did the nomad thing. She went to Europe, several places in Europe. She went to the Middle East. She was an exchange student in high school with a family in Jordan. So she went to Jordan for a while. She went to Spain, just all these different places, and several places in the US because she was trying to decide where she wanted to live next. She's actually from California, and was living up in Seattle. I have a thing on one of my fingers. Yeah, better. And she wanted to, you know, find a different place. She had been living in Seattle for a couple years, really liking it there, but, you know, she's kind of a creature of change, and she loves to travel. So she figured, well, you know what? I can, you know, do the YouTube thing anywhere. So she basically did that. She traveled the world and, you know, oh, quick sidebar. These are little snowmen, and I have these little Christmas lights. You can find them on Amazon. It's just a string of little lights. They don't light up, but every year between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I decorate. So that's what I'm doing today. Anyhow, she just did this thing. And I mean, how many people do you know that would be brave enough to like sell all their stuff and put it in storage and just travel? You know, even if you could afford to. I mean, having 800,000 YouTube subscribers definitely helps. You know, that's her job. That's her livelihood, where she makes her money. And I mean, I'm inspired by that. Just, you know, good for her. And she's going through some trouble. She's had trouble with her neck, and she's been in constant stress because she has horrible migraines. And there's times when she can't do anything for a day at a time, but she's figuring that out too. So, you know, good for her. I'm happy she's getting better. But anyway, if you want to follow a really cool makeup girl, her name is Taylor Wynn. And I also follow Tati. And okay, I'm gonna start with this one right here. And these do not have names, I don't think. No, so it's just a light purple. That's gonna be my base over the other one. I just like to lay down the bronzer because it just warms things up a little. Get my mirror. Yeah, there's really not a lot of color payoff with this, with a brush. What I do remember is that I end up using my fingers for these colors in here more than anything. And what I've also discovered is that people with brown eyes can wear pretty much anything that they want, depending on their coloring, like of their skin. But with brown eyes, you can wear any color and it'll look good. So lucky me. So how was everybody's Thanksgiving? I was just over with my besties. My friend's mom, they live in the Palisades, Pacific Palisades, California. It's basically the area on Pacific Coast Highway between Santa Monica and Malibu. And there's a not very well-known phrase saying about LA that the rich live in Beverly Hills and the famous live in Malibu, but the lucky live in the Palisades. And it's so true. I don't know how this little area, the small little town, I mean, well, I don't want to call it a small town because it's, here's what I'm trying to get at. This place that's this affluent, very, very, very posh, very bougie neighborhood somehow has managed to retain this small town, little town feel. It's the same Sunset Boulevard that is in Hollywood. And you can get on Sunset Boulevard by Will Rogers State Beach and drive on it all the way to downtown before it changes names and becomes another street. The road is the same, it just changes names. But the thing about the Palisades is that it starts over there on the water and you can drive through it, and somehow when you get to like downtown Palisades, you're in a tiny little town in Iowa or something. They've got this small town feel, and you know, it's just this really cool area. And my friend's grandmother bought some homes in the area back in the 1960s. And her mom and dad live in one of these homes, and she lives in another of these homes. And they've been just, you know, passed down to her mom and dad, and then hopefully not for a long, long time, they're going to be passed down to her too. But I mean, her mom could open a restaurant. She is such a phenomenal cook. And she made turkey and all of the stuff, you know, all of the sides. And it was just a really nice day. It's to be honest, it's probably my favorite day of the year is Thanksgiving. So that was a really good day. And it was the best of all worlds because I slept in and just veg, and I didn't really do anything. I just kind of chilled in my apartment. I was thinking about doing a makeup video that day, but you know what? Nah, I just didn't. Just wanted to relax, just unwind a little. So that was my day, and then just been working. Where's my smaller brush? Ugh. You know, every time I do a video, I keep telling myself I'm gonna have everything I need, and I put it all here. All right, on the outer, I'm gonna go for the darkest matte color. Just a little right there. Oh my goodness. Color payoff. Well, it looked like I was gonna blow it for one quick second, and then it kind of, yeah, that's better. I just want to have a little dimension on the corner, on the outside. One thing I'll say about these colors is that they're very blendable. They work really well together. And I've been in love with this palette for a long time. It's probably one of my favorite palettes that I have. A little bit more of that shimmer. Good. All right. So yeah, that's the shadow. Blend a little bit more. Okay, shadow's done. Now, time for my still favorite Color Street Triflex mascara. This is the same tube I've been using probably for a couple of months now. And this brush, all of that shiny stuff in there, that's all product. That's all mascara, but there's like one brush there, flip it, there's another brush there, and then there's another brush there. So it's really kind of foolproof in terms of like clumping or anything. If you think you're getting a clump or if there's too much in one area, just flip the brush over and comb it through again. Most of the time that I use this, I don't even dip in again. This is the first product I've been able to do that with, the first mascara, where I can get 2 coats. Or sometimes it's just 1 coat that I just keep building. And I can tell you with 100% clarity and certainty, I've never had any flaking with this mascara ever. No flaking. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't migrate to my under eye area ever. You put it on and then it just stays where you put it. And it's just it's very creamy. It's buttery, smooth. And there's no fragrance, thank God. Why does makeup need to have a fragrance? I don't understand that ever, especially lipsticks. doesn't need fragrance. It just needs to be pretty. That's all we really need out of our makeup, is just to make it, just so that it makes us, helps us look pretty. I don't want to say makes us pretty, because we're already pretty. It should just make you feel better about yourself and enhance what you have. I've seen a lot of influencers that just don't look like themselves when they're done. It's like, who are you? Where did you go? So I just want to have fun with my makeup, and especially my nails. Well, I don't know if nails are technically makeup, but and you know what I think I might do today? Oh, you know what? I don't have a brush for it, and I don't want to get up. Dang it. Is it in my bag? Where's my bag? No. All right. I was thinking about putting a tiny bit on my, shadow under my eye, but I'm not going to do it today. Oh, wait. I found my brush. So let's do it. I'm going to just go with a little of this one, the shimmer one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch my brush so that it flattens out. And I'm going to just run the brush in the shadow. And then just do that under a little, just a little. I'm probably gonna have to do it again after I put my foundation on. All right, I'll revisit that because I think it looks like I have more on this side. And that's another reason, because my eyes are shaped differently. And sometimes it's hard to get them to be balanced. All right, I'm taking my earrings off while I do my base. e.l.f. Soft Glam Foundation in Light Neutral, number 25. And what I like to do is just put a little on my hand, about that much. And I like to really work it into my brush, which is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I like to really work my brush into the foundation so it gets all over. And then just blendy, blendy. I don't know what magical stuff they put in this foundation or how it is that it goes on so smooth and easy. It's just like magic. Oh, has anyone seen Wicked? I want to go see it, but I swear, every time I open my phone, turn on my TV, it's in my face over and over, and it's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go see it. Leave me alone, you know? So it's sometimes it's like, I want to just wait. I don't like to go when something opens right away. I like to wait a few days or up to like a week or two, only because the crowds, going to the movies sucks sometimes when it's really crowded and people are on their phone and they're actually having conversations when you're trying to just watch. I can't do it. So I usually wait. Okay, done. I just want to, with my wipey, get it off my hand. I know I could probably get a plate or something to put it on, you know, for the blending instead of my hand. But, oh, am I molting? What is happening? I don't usually have flakage. I don't know where that came from. Oh, that was the thing I was trying to remember when I was talking about my boyfriend in my last video, my ex, David. Niceisms. That's what it was. It's either Niceisms or Bearisms, because we called him Bear. My ex was 6'2" and a big guy. I mean, he was not a 6'2" beanpole. He was a 6'2", like, big guy. But he was a bear, so we all called him Bear. And we would just be having these conversations, and a new word would develop. And my two favorites are when you're talking about, like, clouds. They're fluffy and they're puffy, big puffy clouds, right? So you know what that means? It means that they're pluffy. So that ended up being a Niceism. And you know how puppies, when they're just puppies, they just run around and they flop down, and then they just go plop, and so they flomp. They flomp. They romp and they flop, so they flomp. So, yeah, those are Niceisms. Well, Bear and Niceisms. And there's other ones that I'm sure will come up at some point. But I think those are my two favorites. And something else about David. He had this ridiculously hilarious sense of humor. The guy he is partly why I can laugh at everything and nothing. And I also attribute that to my mom and dad. And I'll tell you a thing about my mom and dad. Well, my mom more than my dad. My dad, well, both of them, he loved, like, Martin and Lewis, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, that, you know, slapstick, funny faces, and the silly voices, you know. He loved all of that stuff. He would crack up at all of that. And my mother would just laugh at stuff too. And one time my mom and I were playing double solitaire. I don't know if you've ever played that, but we were sitting at the table and my mother was hard of hearing, and she made a play when we were playing the game, and I said something about it, and she said, "What?" And I said that, and I repeated it, and she said, "What?" And I said, "Do you have your hearing aid?" And she said, "What?" Literally. She was serious that she couldn't hear me. She wasn't saying it to be funny, but it struck me as hilarious in that exact moment. And I was helpless she's like, "What is so funny?" And I'm trying to tell her, "Mom, do you have your hearing aid in?" And when I finally got it out, I mean, we just sat there like two Looney Tunes, just cracking up over this. And, you know, I don't know if that resonates with anybody, but oh my God, it was just so funny. So funny. And, you know, when my dad passed, we were over at the funeral home trying to determine, you know, what to put by his grave. And I know this is like, anyway, okay, here's what happened. We walk into the funeral home, and the man at the desk, if you had called Central Casting and written the word Undertaker, this man would show up. Very dour, very respectful, very deferential. Everything ended at the end of a sentence going down. And, you know, just talking about everything and trying to decide the font and the lettering, and the term is verbiage. The verbiage for what we wanted to have on his marker and everything. And we were there for probably half an hour, and at one point my mom and I got the giggles because we kept looking at each other like this man, because he was being completely professional, but he was just so spot on of what an Undertaker would be. And so we got the giggles for a few minutes, and oh no. All right, I have to redo this. So we're sitting there trying to not embarrass ourselves or this man who's only doing his job, and he was extremely good at it too. He knew exactly what to do and what to say and what we needed, and we couldn't have been more grateful to him, but it was still just, we got the giggles. And at one point we were just so it's like you're trying not to laugh at a time when you shouldn't laugh, so that only makes it worse. And, you know, it was just the verbiage and the verbiage this and the verbiage of that. And he just kept saying this word over and over, and that only made it worse. Trying to, you know, decide what to put and what color and how many letters and how the spelling is with the verbiage. And we just kept just trying so hard not to laugh. And it, you know, at one point we finally decided what we wanted. Okay, I just redid this and it looks like it's okay now. The knot that I used to tie it off came undone. So anyway, we're at the funeral home, and we finally decide what we want. And the man writes it all out, tallies it up, prints the thing out, hands it to my mother. And she verifies everything, and the verbiage is correct, and the font is correct, and the spelling is correct on the verbiage. And finally get everything handled. She writes the check and hands the man the check. And he says, "Oh dear." And he says to my mom, "My dear, you must sign the check," because my mom didn't sign the check apparently. And without missing a beat, my mom says, "Well, that's gonna cost you extra for the verbiage." Oh my God. Oh man. And at one point, one of us said, "Has anyone ever been, you know, have you ever had like people laughing so hard?" And he says, "Well, never in a time of need." Oh my God. You have now been given a glimpse into my mind, my sense of humor, and why I have it. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I actually did tell someone that story a little while ago, and it's just, I mean, that's, you know, not everybody can laugh when they're in a, you know, yeah. I'm sure my dad was there cracking up with us, or probably telling us, "Oh, for crying out loud, are you kidding me, ladies? Stop," you know. That was one of his things, was for crying out loud. He said that a lot, my dad. Actually, this year was his 101st. It would have been his 101st birthday this year, just last month. So, well, they had me later in life, and I'm younger than I look, so. Oh, butter gloss in angel food cake. All right. Makeup is done. On to nails. I'm excited. I'll tell you more in a minute, and I'll see you in a minute too. Bye.